Every moment, your body is changing. Cells divide, DNA copies itself, proteins fold and refold. But hidden within those microscopic movements lies something extraordinary. The blueprint of how you age and how you might not have to. For decades, aging was seen as inevitable, an irreversible decline. But today, scientists around the world are rewriting that idea entirely. They believe aging is not a fixed process, but a programmable one, and if it can be programmed, it can be reprogrammed. Welcome to BioVitaLab, where science meets longevity. It sounds impossible, but right now in labs across the world, scientists are turning back biological time. Not in science fiction, but in petri dishes, living tissues, and even animals. Aging reversal is no longer a dream, it's a field of biology, and it's accelerating faster than ever before. But to understand how we might stop time, we first need to understand what time does to us. Your body is made up of around 37 trillion cells. Every single day, billions of those cells divide, repair, and die. Each cell carries your full genetic code, a 3 billion letter instruction manual written in DNA. But with every division, that manual becomes slightly less precise. The protective ends of your chromosomes, called telomeres, shorten a little each time your cells replicate. Eventually, they become so short that the cell can no longer divide safely. At that point, the cell enters senescence, a state of biological retirement. It stops working properly, but doesn't die. Instead, it lingers, releasing inflammatory molecules that gradually damage neighboring cells. Over time, these zombie cells accumulate, causing tissue stiffness, slower healing, and the visible signs of aging. This is not fate, it's biology, and biology can be changed. In 2006, a Japanese scientist named Shinya Yamanaka made a discovery that would redefine aging research forever. He identified just 4 genes, now known as the Yamanaka Factors, that could rewind a cell's identity all the way back to its embryonic, youthful state. These 4 genes, OCT4, SOX2, KLF4, and c-MYC, could reprogram adult cells into induced pluripotent stem cells, capable of becoming any cell in the body. It was like finding the reset button of life. But full reprogramming came with a problem. It erased the cell's identity entirely, turning skin cells, for example, back into generic stem cells. The next big step came when scientists realized that partial reprogramming could rejuvenate cells without deleting their function. In other words, they could make an old cell young again without losing what it was supposed to do. In 2020, researchers at Harvard University, led by Dr. David Sinclair, applied this concept to damaged retinal cells in mice. They introduced the Yamanaka factors in short bursts, not long enough to erase the cell's identity, but enough to reset their epigenetic code. The result was astonishing. The mice, which had lost their vision due to age-related damage, regained sight. The tissue had literally grown young again. When scientists analyzed the cells, they found that their biological age, measured by methylation markers on DNA, had reversed by decades in mouse years. Sinclair described it simply: aging is like software corruption. We can reboot the system and restore it to a younger state. And that, in essence, is the foundation of age reversal science. Inside your cells, genes are constantly switching on and off. This activity is controlled by epigenetic marks, chemical tags that sit on top of your DNA. Think of your DNA as a piano, and epigenetics as the pianist. Over time, environmental stress, diet, pollution, and inflammation distort the melody. Some keys are pressed too often, others forgotten. Reprogramming removes that noise. It restores the original sheet music. When researchers partially reprogram cells, they wipe away age-related epigenetic marks, returning cells to a more youthful expression pattern, better protein folding, faster repair, higher energy output. This doesn't just make them look young, they function young. Muscle cells regain strength. Liver cells detoxify faster. Even brain cells show improved signaling. The longer the reprogramming continues, the deeper the reset, but the challenge is keeping the cell's identity intact. Erase too much, and you lose the function entirely. Erase just enough, and you restore youth. It's a biological tightrope, but one scientists are now learning to walk. While full gene therapy remains experimental, scientists have already identified molecules and behaviors that mimic many of these rejuvenation effects. The first is NAD+, short for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, a molecule that powers energy production and DNA repair. As we age, NAD+ levels plummet, cutting off the cell's ability to maintain itself. But research shows compounds like NMN and NR can restore it. In animal studies, raising NAD+ reversed mitochondrial decline, improved endurance, and even rejuvenated blood vessels. Another crucial pathway involves sirtuins, a family of enzymes nicknamed the longevity guardians. They regulate gene expression, repair DNA, and maintain mitochondrial health, but only function properly when NAD+ is high. Resveratrol, found in red grapes, and fisetin, from strawberries, are natural activators of these sirtuins. Then there's senolytics, drugs that target and destroy senescent cells, clearing away the zombies that poison healthy tissues. Early human trials using fisetin and quercetin show promising results in reducing inflammation and improving physical function in older adults. These approaches don't make you immortal, but they're the building blocks of real biological rejuvenation. The next big frontier isn't about mice, it's about you. Your biological age is now measurable, using DNA methylation patterns, blood markers, and gene expression. In 2019, a small clinical study led by Dr. Greg Fahy used growth hormone, DHEA, and metformin to reverse biological age in humans by 2.5 years in just 12 months. The participants didn't just feel younger. Their gene expression markers, their actual cellular age, had shifted backward. Other studies now combine NAD+ boosters, fasting, plant-based diets, and exercise regimens, with measurable reductions in biological age. It's not magic. It's metabolism, inflammation control, and cellular renewal working together like a symphony. Every bite you take, every night of sleep, every moment of stress, they all talk to your genes. Epigenetics isn't fixed. It listens to your environment. A nutrient-dense, plant-based diet rich in polyphenols activates AMPK and sirtuins, the same longevity pathways triggered by fasting. Exercise stimulates BDNF, a protein that keeps neurons young and flexible. Meditation and breathwork lower cortisol, reducing DNA methylation on stress-related genes. Even light exposure matters. Morning sunlight regulates circadian genes that govern repair cycles. You don't need a lab to start age reversal. Your body already comes with the tools. You just have to use them. If this kind of science excites you, subscribe to BioVitaLab, where we decode the real biology of aging, longevity, and human optimization. Because knowing how your body works is the first step to mastering how long it lasts. So can we stop time? Not yet, but we can slow it, we can repair it, and one day we may even reverse it completely. Every discovery brings us closer, not to immortality, but to vitality without decline. The future of human aging won't be measured in birthdays, but in biological resets. Time may always move forward, but how it moves through you, that's becoming a question of science, not destiny. At BioVitaLab, we believe the secret to longevity isn't fighting time, it's learning how to work with it. Because aging isn't just a countdown, it's a conversation between your cells and your choices. And the more you understand that conversation, the longer it continues.